Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I have been promising to give you my bullish thesis about Nvidia, and I've been working on it for a couple of days, and today I think I'm ready to present my points. And I look forward to your feedback because I'm planning to double down on Nvidia. I might probably invest more into it as the price goes down. So all the more important for me to hear your feedback. After all, we are a retail investor channel where I'm a retail investor like you. I may or may not know more than what you do, but the idea is for us as a community to pool our knowledge and try to make the best possible decision. So please do not forget to comment. With that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. So there has been a lot of bearish reaction, and you can see in the market Nvidia has been falling steadily and it has dropped a lot, and I still have all my Nvidia shares. I have not sold any of them. They're all in my portfolio and they are negative right now, double-digit negative. But the more I look into Nvidia, the more I feel convinced that this is a momentary reaction and things are going to swing back into proper order. As it is, we know that the last 2 weeks of October, last 2 weeks of September, and the month of October is most likely to be very volatile, and it's not the best of periods for the stock market. So we look forward to the Santa Claus rally. We look forward to the rate cuts that will be started by the Fed very soon, later on this month. So there is a lot of positive catalysts coming up. That's for the entire industry as such. But Nvidia, I think, is a special case. So let us go through all the bearish talking points and I'll try to refute it one by one. And maybe I got some things wrong. I don't claim to know everything. If you find any defect in my understanding, please put that in the comment section. Please use a kind language because I'm quite capable of understanding what you are saying without having to use harsh language. So that said, the first point that bears bring up is that the infrastructure is already built. All the big companies have built up the infrastructure. They have purchased all the chips that they want. What is left to be done? So in that context, I think there is a whole lot left to be done. We are in the cusp of a new industrial revolution, just like the steam engine, just like the internet. This is a whole new way of doing business, the whole new way of recasting the world so that it's more efficient, more convenient, and more capable. So that's what we are looking at. Now, I'll give you a very brief example. My vintage is such that I was using the first PC workstation where we used to have 8 1/4 inch floppy disks. And then I started using what is called as a PC. And in the PC, there was a disk drive, 5 1/4 inch, I think. So you had to put a floppy into it. That was a second level of improvement. And then they came up with the idea of putting a hard disk inside a PC. It was called PC XT. And the chips also evolved. Intel was the supreme leader at that time. 8085, 8086, 80286, 80386, and so on until the Pentium. And then we started having multiple cores. And at that time, the applications started moving away out of the mainframe and coming into the PCs, and we had networking solutions like Novel Netware. Then of course Ethernet came in, and we started having client server combinations where a powerful server could do all the processing and display the results to the client. So thin client was another concept. So there's a lot of evolution that we have been through with just PC. And you can still see that we have PCs in every office. You got laptops and even our humble cell phone, right? It's more powerful than the earliest PC that we have seen. So there is a lot of improvement, and the improvement comes in form of greater computing power so that you can have much more smoother graphics, much more complex processing, much faster processing to give greater functionality to the end user. All of this needs a lot of power. So the chips have got to become more powerful. And as the chips become more powerful, they become bigger in size, but then we want them to be smaller so that we can miniaturize them and occupy less space. We want to use less power supply. So all those things have already happened to a great extent for PC. And we have come to a point where the Moore's law may not apply anymore to the microprocessor that was used as CPU. So now we come into this new paradigm of a GPU. A GPU is multiple chips, but the difference is that all of those chips can feel the memory to be shared and to be one. So they all feel that they are one chip. And when a bunch of those chips, which is called as a GPU, is networked with another GPU, Nvidia has come up with solutions which makes them share a memory so that all of them feel that they are part of one unit, and the processing is much seamless, much faster. Of course, it takes a lot of power supply at this point of time, but I think we are at the beginning of the iteration of GPUs, and the H100s and H200s are going to be followed with Blackwell, and there will be subsequent versions of even more efficient GPUs, which will have a smaller footprint, which will use lesser power, and provide more computing capability, so that we can aim for much higher functionality and more ambitious programming. And the current build is at hyperscalers. They will find monetization opportunities, as well as they will design services that the smaller users can benefit from. And I'm thinking that if you look at the case of startup companies, right? Startup companies in this environment are hard pressed for cash. And I don't think they would like to buy a GPU and try to create an infrastructure in which they can do their AI solutions. So they are going to rent AI computing power from some of these big companies which have built up the infrastructure. And then they will be able to come up with the products, and then those products will be consumed by their clients, who will also rent AI infrastructure from these hyperscalers. So I'm thinking that we are just at the beginning of the entire process of the uptake of AI. The AI infrastructure build was the first one to happen, and it's a really good sign that all the big tech companies have bought into this, and they have ramped up the infrastructure creation, because they have the money, and that money has now gone to Nvidia and given Nvidia the power to keep on pushing the envelope, to drive up productivity, to reduce the consumption of power, to create more infrastructure around their chips, so that the utilization of the hardware is much more easier. I'll also highlight the fact that Amazon saved hundreds of millions of dollars using AI to upgrade their in-house Java code to Java 17. It's a sample of what to look out for. If Amazon has done this, other companies would also like to do that. And that could be a use case that I can show as an example of the fact that we have just scratched the surface with building of the infrastructure. And I think I would like to quote Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, who last month said that Amazon saved 4,500 years of development work and $260 million annually using AI. The case for higher productivity will attract more investment in this area, and more infrastructure build will be demanded in order to cater to those use cases. And as AI proliferates industry, the quest will be to make it more efficient in terms of power consumption, footprint, or the space taken. And this is exactly the same trajectory that PCs followed to where we are right now. And there is more to go for GPUs. This is not the end, and AI's journey has just begun. Now, that strikes out the first item in the bear talking point. Now, the second point that bears generally raise is, where is the monetized use case other than ChatGPT-like apps? Because there's a lot of ChatGPT-like apps, and it's just a question of modifying the language. There is no original inference and other things. So here I want to talk about NIMS or NIMS. This is about the presentation that Nvidia did at GTC, where they spoke about virtual factories for training robots, designing the factories, and then bringing them into real life and uploading the training from the virtual robots to the actual robots, so that the entire process of creating a factory along with programming the robots is done much faster and done more safely in a virtual environment. That is so promising. Nvidia is taking another step with what they call as NIMS. So let me speak a little bit about what Nvidia is doing with NIMS. Nvidia is taking another step with what they call as NIMS, introducing NIM agent blueprints for developers who want to create custom generative AI applications. These are reference AI workflows that include sample applications based on NIM and partner microservices reference code, a document outlining customization, and a Helm chart. These are files that detail and package a Kubernetes cluster resources as an application for deploying the apps, and developers can modify the blueprint. And NVIDIA NIM agent blueprints are runnable AI workflows pre-trained for specific use cases that can be modified by any developer. And they are a starting point for performing the most important business tasks in enterprises as they get into the AI field. Now let's examine a NIM that's already at work in the drug discovery segment. Nvidia has already introduced the NIM agent blueprint to speed up and improve the drug discovery process using generative AI. This new approach aims to cut down on the time and cost of developing drugs, making critical treatments available more quickly. The NIM agent blueprint is a guide for using Nvidia's modular AI microservices to enhance drug discovery. It focuses on optimizing the transition from identifying potential drug targets to designing effective molecules. So that's the trajectory it's looking at. And in this segment, the generative AI models include tools like AlphaFold 2 for protein structure prediction, MOIMIM for designing and optimizing molecules, and DiffDoc for modeling molecule binding to proteins. And the blueprint helps streamline the hit to lead phase, making it faster and more efficient by integrating AI models into drug discovery workflows. And this immediately translates into a more efficient pipeline because candidates can be selected more efficiently, and money lost in dropping candidates from the pipeline will be reduced. That risk factor will get reduced. Overall, the NIM agent blueprint integrates advanced AI modules into a scalable system that improves the speed and effectiveness of discovering new drugs. Companies in the drug discovery field like Benchling and Dotmatics are already using this technology. I believe robotics is another area that will progress rapidly, but I don't think a humanoid robot is what we have to look at. There will be other types of robots, and they may not have the humanoid shape, but they will start delivering probably on the factory floor and probably in departmental stores and other settings. But humanoid robots will be probably the last one to arrive, and they will be highly sophisticated and very user friendly. That is my prediction. So there is a lot to go. I think with regards to NIMS, many industries will follow suit with their own use cases, and that's what I would say to strike out this second point. The third and other, there's another bear talking point, that is the Nvidia PE is too high. And if you recollect, I have already done a detailed presentation with regard to this particular chart and used this as a basis to say that Nvidia is still going to do much better after the result. You can always check the video in our channel if you go to our homepage and do a search. Finally, one of the most widely spoken bearish theses is that what happened to Cisco will happen to Nvidia. And in this, with regard to this, I have seen many Nvidia bulls and what they have to say about it. And based on that, I have formed an opinion. My opinion is that Nvidia clients are huge hyperscalers, and its applications will be industry-wide, because as any company adopts AI and improves productivity, its competitors will either have to close shop or adopt AI. Therefore, there will be a competition to be first off the block. And this competition is going to make sure that there will be more and more users of AI computing power, and therefore there will be more and more need for computing infrastructure. So that is one point I would like to make. And the other point I would like to make is that as time goes by, the H100s will be replaced by H200s, and they will be replaced by Blackwell, and then by Rubin. This cycle will continue. And as this cycle continues, the H100s and H200s will be less expensive, and they will go to the next level of user in terms of affordability. And that's how the AI technology is going to percolate. And as we get more and more advanced applications of AI, the demand for cutting edge GPUs with greater throughput, lower power consumption, smaller form factor will start pushing the industry, including Nvidia, AMD, and others, to work at developing those kind of highly efficient chips. And there will be a second level of market which will be available for other semiconductor companies, which will jump onto the AI bandwagon and start creating the next level of AI chips. So I'm thinking that just like what happened with PCs, we are going to have increasing adoption of this technology by the industry. This is a technological revolution, and as compared to Cisco, networking technology is much more simpler as compared to what is being done by Nvidia. If you just look at what Nvidia has accomplished in AI, they have accomplished the ability to have high throughput networking between CPUs, between 3 CPUs in the Blackwell chip, such that the CPUs feel that they are one. Now, this kind of improvement has been done by Nvidia. So the GPU technology that you see is much more highly sophisticated than what we saw with networking that was done at the time of the .com era with Cisco. So I think the comparison between Cisco and Nvidia's situation is probably not appropriate in my opinion. And I think for AI futuristic applications such as space travel, we are looking at faster than light engines and modeling the universe. So we are collecting a lot of information through the Hubble telescope and other advanced telescopes that we have sent up there. And all that information, the mapping of the universe is taking place, and scientists would definitely like to put that into a simulation and create a model universe. And they would like to model black holes. Those things will require strong computing power and AI. And our channel is called ShareTreck because I'm a Trekkie. I'm a space age fan. So I would say that designing better engines and simulating terraforming distant worlds, etc., are use cases that are yet to be tapped using AI, and they are for the future. And in order to do that, we need heavy computing power, heavy AI GPU engines and tools, and all those things are being developed. So right now, top of the line in performance is Nvidia, and it has a framework that supports its chips and makes it the first choice for early adopter. Eventually, there will be competition, but Nvidia I don't think is fading away this year or the next. No one is even close in competition to Nvidia, in my opinion. So I would say that Nvidia is safe for investment for at least the next 2 years. And the next bear talking point is, okay, what about the DOJ subpoena? Because DOJ has sent a subpoena to Nvidia regarding antitrust concerns. And to this, I would say that Nvidia has said it has not received any antitrust subpoenas from DOJ. And again, what I would say is that in the event that DOJ does send a subpoena to Nvidia, I don't think it's the end of the world, because right now Nvidia can demonstrate absolute superiority in GPU performance and the entire stack of infrastructure it has got around the GPU to make it the first choice for anyone who wants to have AI. They cannot be beaten on performance, and they have not done anything that is overtly likely to be seen as killing competition. They have not done anything like that. They are just pushing the excellence of their technology, and nobody can dispute them. And we can't have a FTC coming in and saying that, okay, you are very successful, now we want you to share your success with others, so just distribute your technology to everybody else for free. That's not going to happen. So Nvidia still has got a lot of leeway to run forward, and the market share is for Nvidia to lose, and I don't think they are planning to lose that anytime soon. They are working away hard at Rubin, and then they will come up with the next gen, and they have consistently exceeded expectations of the market. They have underpromised and over-delivered, and even their underpromise is more than what the market has always expected. So I think all of those factors go in line for Nvidia, and there I resist my case for being bullish on Nvidia. And now I'm actually going to put more money into Nvidia. I'm watching the price closely. I'll decide exactly when I want to put more money to dollar cost average down. I'm holding on to everything I have on Nvidia so far. So friends, in the true spirit of being a retail community of investors, I would invite you to give me your feedback. What do you think about Nvidia? Do you think I should double down on it? What are you doing with regard to Nvidia? Do you have any other points, bullish or bearish, that you think I should consider? Please put it all in the comment section. Let's have some interaction. With that, my friends, I would like to end this video here. Hope you have a great weekend. Bye for now.